Hello YouTube. So I'm out doing a camp, and it's a semi-stealth camp because we're actually at the RAF, what can I call it? It's like an RAF signalling radar base in Bordsey in Suffolk, and it's not too bad. Just over there is like a big sheer drop down to a beach in the sea, and we're in a little sort of copse, a little woods at the top of it, far enough away we're not going to fall into the sea. And there's some concrete structures. I'll put in some footage of that, some old stuff that they used to use, some old buildings and stuff. We did a bit of exploring earlier, and there's some buildings there, and there is a sort of farm up. I think maybe the farm owns it now, and so you have to be a little bit stealthy. People come and explore here all the time, but they probably wouldn't want people camping, although, you know, if they knew who we were and were respectful, they probably wouldn't mind, but they don't, do they? So yeah, a little bit stealthy. But I'm not going to do an entire video of the whole camp and the whole day and setting up and all that. I'm just going to show you my setup. Get back a bit. So it's going to be the main point of the video, is just to show you the setup really, and I'll show you what I'm using. The walk wasn't too far, so we bought a fair amount of gear, but basically you've got the DD 3x3 on a sort of you know, adapted A-frame. It's not equilateral, longer at the back, shorter at the front, so I can see out and get in and out a bit easier. Got the British Army mosquito cot tent. For the first time I'm ever going to sleep in that. Haven't inflated my mat yet. I've got my Exped 5R, whatever you want to call it. It's a nice insulated mat. Ground sheet for protection. The bottom of that cot tent is quite thick, sort of canvassy material anyway. I might show you this in a clearer detail tomorrow, or do a separate video, but I've added a lot extra things onto this pack and really made it my own, and finally sort of finalised it so you can get everything in there for a bivvy and basher camp, or, you know, tarp. And the mosquito cot tent had to bring it in its own separate bag, so I just carried it up. I've got a wool shirt there just in case it gets a bit cold, but it's out of the wind. Zoom back and give you another look at that shelter. Out of the wind, it's really quite warm. So up here in this little woods, it's supposed to be like 30 mile an hour winds with 40 mile an hour gusts today, but you cannot feel it here really at all, so it's brilliant. We're really well protected. Had a bit of trouble getting some of the stakes in the ground, if you can really see that, because there's concrete structures everywhere. So just next to my setup here, there's concrete in the ground there. Around the back here, if I take you around the back, even getting these in, I wanted to spread it further back than this. You can see there's concrete there, and that spreads under the ground quite a way, and I couldn't get my pegs in, so I've had to pin it quite tight and then just bungeed out the back there. That's what it looks like inside. You see it's got a bit of space, but it's quite tight to the back. It's just for a single person, this thing. And yeah, would have been nice. I think I should have, if it's quite a time consuming process setting this up, but probably I should have done an equal A-frame, pinned the back down, and then tried to bring this really far forward and just sort of tie it off to these trees nearby, and give myself a nice big porch, and you know, just a bit more coverage. I thought the DD had more of a coverage if you did it like this, but it's actually not that long. I suppose you could lift these corners up, pin them out, and then that would give you a bit more. But it's enough. It's not supposed to rain anyway. It's nice weather, so I think it is perfectly sufficient. So yeah, I might come back to you later on and do a bit more, talk about something else, and, you know, show some of the other bits, or the other little bits like the brew kit and stuff like that I've brought with me. But other than that, that's the main point of the video, is just to show a nice little setup, and that I am out in the woods and where we are, show you a bit of footage of some of the buildings and stuff and the coast, and hopefully, if all goes well, we'll be camping again tomorrow, but in different locations, so I'll do another one for that. But until then, if that is the end, thanks for watching. plenty left on one Fire Dragon tablet after a boil. So with the windshield it works really efficiently actually. Okay, it's the morning, so I did come back to finish this video off actually, and just talk about the setup. Did it work? Just going to be a quick one, but did it work? How did it go? Let's flip you round and talk you through it. So yeah, it did rain last night actually, and I stayed dry, everything was good, there was no splashing, no condensation really either. There's a nice wind coming through here, really high winds but pretty well protected down here, but I did get wind going through a little bit, which gave me a little bit of a chill, but anyway, yeah, as you can see you've got probably 8 inches at least of this thick canvasy material which protects you at the bottom a bit from the wind and any splash from the ground if it is raining, and the net is obviously mosquito net, it's very very fine, so that will protect you a bit from debris and a little bit of a spray as well. And the tarp just really got sand on it, it's already dry. It did rain but it's already dry, it's just this sand coming with the wind and everything, because just over there is a sheer drop down to that beach. I think I mentioned that last night. And yeah, so it did work, it worked very well considering there was high winds, rain, sand blasting in. Quite comfortable in that little cot tent because it's so high you can sit up perfectly well in it, and obviously protected from insects and some bigger dust and bits and pieces. Is quite well, you know, you feel quite well sort of cocooned in there. Quite a sheer pitch. I could have pinned it back a lot more, but I think I said yesterday because the concrete in the ground I couldn't, but that kind of enclosed me in and kept me a bit warmer and stuff. So yeah, British Army mosquito cot tent. It's designed to go on the top of the cot, which I don't use because that thing is really big and heavy and difficult to put together. Didn't even peg it in, just put the poles in, put it on a ground sheet and then the tarp over the top. So, you know, I only had trouble because of the hard bits in the ground. Other than that, this is actually quite an easy setup and quite an effective setup for sort of spring, summer. You can see that building behind me now, one of the old buildings, RAF buildings. But yeah, anyway, this is goodbye genuinely this time, so thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy it.